Hey, we got the rawest production team in the country. You ain't even expect the music and the time and all that, did you?
Hey, Cole, they big time now. I see them. Boys got
No
a commercial and everything. See, they
No question. All right, so hey, everybody, all my viewers, followers, hey, I'm talking about an elite treat for you guys tonight. If you have not met this young man right here, as you can see, he spelled his name. It's usually supposed to be C-Y, but in typical C-Y fashion, he spelled it out S-E-E. I mean, this is one of the great guys in the business. He has a great amount of experience. He's done so much for these young men, put a ton of guys in the NBA, but more importantly, has shaped young men and helped them to become, productive citizens in the world, which more often than not, that's what the job of the college coach is. If you're blessed enough to have guys become pros, unbelievable bonus, big time, but majority of these guys are going to be pros in life. They have to get a job. They got to be productive citizens. They got to raise kids. They got to get married. And he's a great role model and been an unbelievable mentor for me. I have two main mentors in the business, Charlton Young, CY, and Paul Hewitt. These guys kind of raised me and brought me up in the business. And I love both of them. So I'm excited to have him on here. CY, go ahead and give yourself a little bit of introduction and introduce the people to yourself.
I appreciate the kind words, man. And they don't even know how deep it goes between you and I, watching you grow up in the profession and helping you get in when I first got the Georgia Tech job. But I'm Charlton Young, affectionately known as CY. Been in this profession 26 years now, going on 27. Right now, I'm a proud member of the NEWBLOODS, Florida State basketball.
Mm-hmm. And
Jay Leonard Hamilton's one of Jay Leonard Hamilton's lieutenants, and I'm proud of it. And so just happy to be with you guys tonight.
CY, tell us a little bit about, before we get into the NEWBLOODS, because I don't even think everybody knows about that. We got to get those shirts done too, by the way. I don't think everybody knows about the NEWBLOODS, but before we get into that, please just give us a short synopsis of Leonard Hamilton, what he's done, Stan Jones, Steve Smith. I want to let the whole world know about how great this staff is. And Dennis Gates. I apologize. Yeah. Please go ahead and touch base on everybody on your staff.
I'm very proud of what we've become. We feel like we've become an elite top 5, top 10 program over the last 5 to 6 years. Mm-hmm. Jay Leonard Hamilton, his journey, what he's done as a program builder, mm-hmm. A trailblazer, a trendsetter, a mentor, and just ambassador for the African-American coach. I tell mm-hmm. people this all the time. He was an assistant at Kentucky in the 70s, at a time where Kentucky was a predominantly white program. Mm-hmm. Now think about going to Kentucky as an assistant in the 70s. You're the first African-American assistant coach in the university's history. Well, guess what happens? The Caucasian people don't like you, and the black people don't like you. The Caucasian people think that you're trying to make it an all-black team, and the black people think you're a sellout. So you're talking about a guy who was out there by himself for a long time and really just kept his head down, continue to work, continue to help people, help kids, be a great father, husband, and man. And he's really been a model for all of us to follow in this profession.
I agree.
I don't think people realize how difficult the jobs he has taken and what he has done with those jobs. I mean, the epitome of making $1 out of 15 cents. You take Oklahoma State and make them a NCAA tournament program. Then you go to Miami. And at the time he went to Miami, I'm born and raised in Miami. You know that, 27th Avenue, 183rd Street, Carroll City. Miami, University of Miami hadn't had basketball in 30 years. Us Miami natives, Miami basketball, they didn't have an arena. They played in the James L. Knight Center. That's where Cameo and Earth, Wind and Fire did concerts.
Stepchildren.
They weren't in a league. They were independent. And he comes there and he makes Miami, he takes them to the Big East and makes them a powerhouse. Then he goes to the Washington Wizards. and has a year stay. And Michael Jordan makes him a very rich man. And then he goes from there to Florida State, which Florida State basketball has had a few good teams.
But it was a football school when he took the job.
Football school.
Yeah.
And in terms of the arena and the basketball resources, was more that like a low to mid major than a high major program. And then all of a sudden, 18 years later, here you are with a program that's been to 4 straight Sweet 16s, an Elite 8, got an ACC regular season title, and turning out a plethora of NBA players, and every year in the top 10, and has basically flipped the ACC, which is the NBA South. I mean,
no question.
Flipping North Carolina, Duke, Louisville, Virginia, that's a 4 billion pound gorilla. And not many people have been able to do it. So Jalen Hamilton is I'm determined to help him win a national championship, if not 2. I'm determined to get him in the Hall of Fame. The term New Bloods is deep. It's deep. It's the cries of Jalen Hamilton, his wife, his kids, our players, our coaches, the level of disrespect that our program and he is given as a coach. And I say that now we're finally starting to get our due now. But, and I'm going to be I hope I'm not too controversial for the show. But I got to be honest.
Nothing is too controversial for the show. We're trying to be controversial.
Right. I've been in the business 26 years. That's pre-internet. I'm from the 1900s. Right? My first big signee was Moochie Norris, 1994. I had a beeper on. You know what I'm saying?
And people don't know how good Moochie Norris is because they don't know anybody past 10 years ago. But Moochie Norris was a point guard at Auburn, bad boy.
Two-step crossover. He's ice cold, Washington D.C. But what I want to tell you is this: in the South, the African American coach, head coach, and assistant for 26 years has been assassinated, like John F. Kennedy. What do I mean by that? They always attack the African American coach and make them just a recruiter. You can't coach. You can't strategize. You're not a CEO. You're not organized. You're just a recruiter. Now they
try to put you in a box. They want to generalize, stereotype you.
And listen, not only put you in a box, but put you in a situation where you never get an opportunity to be a head coach or a guy that's respected as a real coach. So the narrative around Jalen Hamilton for the last 25 years is, hey, great recruiter. They have all that talent down there and they underachieve. See, he who controls the narrative is
usually the media.
That's right. So now you and I both know if you are winning the ACC, you're winning the ACC tournament, you're winning ACC regular season crowns, you're going to the Elite 8, you're going to the Sweet 16. Practical intelligence will tell you you must be a pretty good coach.
Excellent coach. Not pretty good, excellent coach.
Do you know the coaches that participate in our league?
And the players. I mean, it's a high level league.
Krzyzewski is in our league. Roy
Williams just retired.
Is in our league. Tony Bennett is in our league. So if you're finishing ahead of these coaches, then you're a really good basketball coach. You're a really good CEO. You're a really good X and O guy. You're a really good tactician. You're really good at coaching. Teacher,
mentor, the whole thing, everything.
Say that. So now
I think it's changed a little bit. Let's get a little bit. I think it's changed
in the last 4 years. But the cry New Blood came kind of for us to get it off our chest, but to ignite our staff and our players and our former players and our fans, because you know what I live by. Respect is the ultimate currency. Not money, not jewels, respect. You think Jalen Hamilton coaching because he need money?
No, he's good. He's good.
He coaching because he still feels like he's disrespected. Why is Chris Mack a great X and O guy and Jalen Hamilton isn't?
And that's no knock to Chris Mack, but that's just saying Jay Leonard Hamilton deserves the same respect, if not better. To be honest, because he's actually taking his teams further. If we're keeping it real,
he's a great coach, but he's also 1-6 against Jay Leonard Hamilton. Now, and I'm not a great coach, but how can these guys be considered great coaches and Jay Leonard Hamilton not? You understand what I'm saying? And so, but that's the narrative. That's what they do. They, for some reason, I don't know what it is. I love everybody. I ain't mad at nobody. I ain't trying to fight. I don't know the reason. Do you know the reason? Maybe it's because he's bald headed.
I know the reason. We all know the reason. And I'll say it because you don't want to say it. It's because he's a black man. There's no other reason to say it.
I wasn't going to say that.
Yeah. Hey, we just went through the whole Black Lives Matter. We got a lot of stuff going on in society and culture.
I thought it was because he's bald headed. I don't know.
College coaching, just like everything else in the world, is one of the professions that they try to hold down to black coaches. And like you said, give them a certain narrative, say they can only do certain things for whatever reason. I think we're hopefully growing as a culture and a society. And Leonard Hamilton doing as well as he's done is doing nothing but uplift the black coach.
Well, 2021, things we are making change. The hires are getting better and evolution. Cars get better, shoes get better, TVs getting better. We're getting better, but that fight is still there. I was having a conversation with a search firm guy a month ago, and he says to me, "Man, you guys are unreal."
Coach, before you move on, two things I need you to hit on. Explain exactly what New Blood is, and then also you got to explain what search firm is. You can't assume everybody knows what the search firm is.
Great job. Great hosting, Coach LaBarrie. That's very good. I appreciate it. New Blood is basically the opposite or counterpart to Blue Blood. Blue Blood, the narrative, has controlled college basketball for the last 75 years.
That only those programs can win at a high level.
Yeah, and only great basketball players can go to those programs.
Great coaches, whole thing.
And
only those players.
And it totally controlled the mindset of AAU coaches, high school coaches, parents, players. We would recruit guys and we would get in early and build a relationship, and then some AAU coach, a high school coach around them would say, "Hey, coach, the Blue Bloods coming after this one."
Yeah.
And I would say, "Huh?"
I've gone up against that myself, man.
Yeah, like, are you serious? So out of anger, one day I said, "Man, screw the Blue Bloods. We the New Bloods. We here. We ain't going nowhere." And it just
going nowhere.
It just took off. But think about it. It makes no sense to be afraid or go to somewhere for something that happened 75 years ago.
Because how is that impacting you today?
Right now, today.
And it's actually, what's the best situation for you right now? And I can't wait to get into your recruiting philosophy. But yes, sorry to interrupt.
Right now. And so us coming up with that terminology and coining ourselves the New Bloods, it made people start to see it clearly. You know what? Wilt Chamberlain went to Kansas 60 years ago. You know what? Goose Givens went to Kentucky 50 years ago. You know what? Michael Jordan, I asked a young man, "Hey, what year did Michael Jordan hit the shot at Carolina?"
No idea.
I said 1982, Chief. He said, what year were you born? He was like 2000. So I'm saying Michael Jordan can't do nothing right now but sell you shoes, Chief.
That's all they can do.
This is about right now, your development. Who can prepare you for life after basketball, and who can give you a chance to be a pro? And it start making people see it. And again, I'm not disrespecting the Blue Blood programs because I have.
You don't have to, but you're here, and you want everybody to know we here, and we're doing just as good a job, if not better.
If not better. And if you look at the numbers, you know what I mean. If you look at the numbers,
we're gonna get into that. Slow down. I know how you get. Slow down. Let's get back to the search firm conversation.
So. Now, when I first got into coaching, relationships with athletic directors was the key to getting your next head coaching opportunity. Now that has changed. The landscape of college basketball, the search firms kind of get contracted by the universities, and they kind of make the decisions on who's the next coach where. And so, trying to evolve as a coach, you got to go to symposiums.
And cultivate relationships. You have to.
And cultivate relationships and go to different seminars to meet these people. So I'm having a conversation with a major one. And this is what I'm talking about, controlling the narrative. He says to me, man, you guys are doing an unbelievable job. The new bloods, every year y'all knocking on the door. He said, but I'm going to say this about Leonard. He always underachieves with all that talent he has down there. I said, hold on. Do you understand that the Blue Bloods, I ain't gonna call the programs, they have 5, 6, 7 McDonald's All-Americans on their roster.
Every single season.
Every single year. We sign 1 McDonald's a year.
And act like we got it all over the place.
And we sign 1 McDonald's a year. And then we take a bunch of 3-star guys and 4-star guys and we develop them. And then we wind up beating these programs. So shouldn't the narrative be that they develop, recruit, and win with less talent than the Blue Blood programs? Because I know they laughed at me about Devin Vassell. I know I was in a recruiting war with Presbyterian in North Florida. 75% of Atlanta, when I was walking in the gym, they was doing like this when I walked in, when I recruited Devin Vassell. Devin Vassell was ranked 17 in the city of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Terrence Mann, we signed Dwayne Bacon and Malik Beasley. Terrence Mann, who's going crazy for the Clippers right now. When I signed him, he was number 113. They call him the other guy. Y'all signed Malik Beasley, Dwayne Bacon, and the other guy.
Yeah.
And he developed into an unbelievable player. So the narrative, in my humble opinion, should be Florida State finds diamonds in the rough and they develop them into big-time ACC players, ACC champions, and NBA guys. I think that
for you guys who don't know at home, that means they're great evaluators. They see potential, they see talent, they see people that fit their system, their culture, bring them in, help them mature, help them develop, and to get the best out of them.
Like they say in my era, whoop, there it is. You know what I'm saying? Shaka laka, whoop.
They ain't ready for that. They're not ready for that. They're not ready for that.
My bad, because you have a flashback every now and then.
Oh, good. hey, all right. So look, but you just hit on some terrific points, and a lot of this show is for athletes, current athletes coming up, their parents, college coaches as well. So I want you to talk about when you go see a Devin Vassell or you go see a Terrence Mann, and not the high profile guys you get. Everybody knows why you get them, but the guys who are 3-star guys, maybe not even ranked. When you go to the gym, tell us what you're looking for, because I think there's a misconception of what elite college coaches are looking for when they walk in the gym. Please give us a snapshot of when you walk in the gym, what you're looking for, what characteristics that are their character, and then also basketball-wise as well.
That's a great question. So obviously the physical attributes are size at position, athletic ability, and then skill. We at Florida State, we want dinosaurs at every spot. Don't bring me somebody short and strong that I can't make long. Bring me somebody long I can make strong. So we like them long and gangly, low hairline, 1 string on the chin. Guy that's going to eat some whoppers, do some push-ups, grow 1.5 inches.
Has the frame, but just hasn't developed physically yet.
It hadn't developed, right? Yeah. So when we look at him, it's not what he is, it's what he's going to be, right? And a lot of people don't have the
foresight.
They can't do it, or the courage. Some people can't go down the yellow brick road. They got to go down the yellow brick road and get some courage. They scared to put their self out there. But in terms of the player, we're looking for a guy that can affect the game non-ball dominant. We're looking for a guy that has a tremendous amount of humility, a guy that is unselfish, a guy who makes winning plays, who affects winning. Very rarely that Florida State will we recruit a ball dominant guy. Unless the
so, Coach, you mean to tell me you don't go to the game and look at the guy who shoots 25 times, scores 17 points, didn't get any rebounds, no steals, no assists, doesn't cheer on his teammates? That's not the guy you want, Coach?
And got bad body language? No.
Mad at everybody in the gym?
No, I'm not looking for that guy. So
humility, winning plays, non-ball dominant. That's your 3 characteristics.
Oh yeah.
From a team that's going to the Sweet 16, ranked in the top 10 every year. That's what you're looking for when you go to gym, coach. That's what you mean to tell me.
For instance, right? My Georgia Southern education taught me that. English 151. For instance.
Okay.
I go see Terrence Mann when he's a 9th grader.
Okay.
He's at Tilton. He's under the basket. Shot goes up. Him and the guy, they react. They tussling for a box out. Now the guy puts his arm on top of his arm, so when he goes up, he can't lift up.
Okay.
The ball comes off the rim. They both trying to get the rebound. Terrence Mann reaches up with his hand, but he can't get it with his hand. His teammate is standing right there under the basket. Terrence Mann jumps up. He taps the ball to his teammate. The boy laid it up. I said, scholarship.
So you saw high-level basketball intelligence, and you saw selflessness, humility, do whatever's best for the team.
High-speed Wi-Fi, coach. Mm-hmm. Scholarship on the spot, coach. He had about 7 points, but he was 6'4 1/4. You know what I mean? He kept going in, penetrating, getting all the way to the rim and kicking it. He had like 9 assists. You know, he was at like 6 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. And his mom.
That's the stat line that you saw, and you wanted to offer him a scholarship. I want to make sure everybody hears that again. Coach, say those stats one more time, Coach, please.
First time I saw Terrence Mann, he had like 6 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, and like 2 blocks. And his mama was mad now. His mama said, he won't shoot. He's terrible. He ain't going to never make it. Because she had played at Georgetown. Mm-hmm. And she was in the training room with Iverson and Victor Page, who was saying, hey, I'm going to score 40 tonight. Mm-hmm. And she was a big-time player. Mm-hmm. I told her, I said, hey, don't worry about it. I got this one. Mm-hmm. This boy here is a pro. Mm-hmm. Now, we had to get his J right and all that, but I could see it just as clear as day. Same thing with Vassell. Coach, I went out there. Steve Bouye is a bad boy.
I love Steve Bouye.
Yeah.
Hey, and I gotta be honest right here. So I don't know if I've admitted this to you, but for the whole world to see, Steve Bouye called me as well. Y'all had already offered, so y'all already in there. Probably would have been hard to beat y'all out. You do a great job once you get in there and start cultivating relationships, building your fence. I know how you do. You taught me the whole thing, so your fence was probably ready up, but I was trying to knock the fence down. So Steve Bouye called me and said, I got a young kid over here. I'm telling you, his name is Devin Vassell. He's young. His body hadn't filled out. He can make shots. He has length. Florida State came in and offered him. So I didn't know if the boy was, Steve Bouye, this is one of our first interactions. So, in the business, people don't know this. People will lie to you. They'll throw a big school out. They'll say he offered and see if they can get you with the banana in the tailpipe. They'll throw the rock over here. Let's see if he's smart. Mm-hmm. Will he find out? Did Florida State really offer or not? So I got to make my own decision. I didn't want to call you because if you really offered him, you're going to tell me, hey, man, what? Devin Vassell, I don't even know what that is. Like, what?
I was like, he can't do it, Chief.
Coach, he ain't good enough. Come on, you think I offer Devin Vassell, Coach? Come on, you know better than that. So I got to go with my own eyes. I go see him in a back gym in Indianapolis. They playing 25 minutes away from the main site.
That's the kind I love too, Chief.
2 courts in the back. Your tight is hot. He playing against a bad team.
They don't even have a concession stand. They don't even have a concession stand.
No, I was starving. I was mad on the way over there. And he couldn't get going that particular game. If I was intelligent, I would have come back and watched him 2 more times because you can't make a good evaluation on a player until you see him play 3 times.
So real quick, there you guys were going to say for young coaches is watching.
Yeah.
I never speak on a prospect unless I see him 3 times. Yeah. If I see him 3 times, I know what he is. I know what he ain't. If I only see him twice and somebody say, hey, tell me about that boy Darryl LaBarrie. Can he play? I'll say, I hadn't seen him enough to speak intelligently.
But this is what I think.
Nope, I don't even say that. I didn't say that.
I ain't seen him enough.
I ain't seen him enough to speak intelligently. But if I seen him 3 times, now you go see a guy 1 time, he never as good as you thought he was. Yeah. And he never is bad.
Yeah. But it's just hard. It's just hard because it's a lot of factors in just a 1-game scenario.
So now me saying this, I'm prefacing this. Me saying this tells you how good I thought Devin Vassell was.
Mm-hmm.
because I watched Devin Vassell 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My alarm went off. So Devin Vassell, I went to watch him. He went down the court this way. The boy went baseline. He pinned it on the glass. He pitched it ahead.
Mm-hmm.
He went down this way. The ball swung around. They threw it to him. He ripped. He took a 2-foot pop, one hand floater. It went back down this way, and they threw it to the wing, and he stole it. He went down, and he threw like a lob, but the boy laid it up. He went back down. He back tipped it from the back. It came back down, and he shot a 3 in the deep corner on a swing. It went back down. I don't know. I can't remember what happened. But when it came back this way, somebody shot it. He caught it off the rim. Boom. I said, scholarship. 6 minutes ago, he was 6'4.5", 6'5", about 168. Real low hairline, looked like Bambi. 2 strings, maybe 2 strings right here. Neck real long and skinny. I said, Coach, I could see it just as clear as day. I couldn't believe it. I said, I've been living right. Coach, I offered him a scholarship, Coach. I said, son, he was trembling.
Yeah. Never expected you to come in there and offer him a scholarship.
He said Presbyterian in North Florida.
Yeah. And you thought, and what you thought when you heard that was them boys know what they doing down there.
Yeah, I said them boys rough, North Florida.
Them boys know what they
doing. North Florida, they think they gonna sneak in there in Atlanta, where I reside, and get a pro. Not on my watch, because I offered that boy on the spot. But see, me and Steve know each other for a long time, so Steve is a great evaluator that nobody don't know about. I hate that I had to give him national pub now because everybody gonna listen to him. But for years, Steve Bouye called me. I catch a flight.
He had Marshawn Brooks before anybody knew who Marshawn Brooks was.
Yeah, Coach, he had a few more too. Yeah, that boy went to Texas A&M. Coach, he can evaluate. It ain't many people out here can evaluate now. So, God bless him. I love him, man. I owe him big time because that.
And he's a good person. I think he's in it for the right reasons. It's for the kids. He's not trying to get nothing out of it. Yeah. Good dude.
Coach. Love the
kids.
Good dude. And the thing about Devin Vassell and his family, Coach, the boy, when you talk to him, he has success written all over. His humility, his work ethic, just appreciative. Yes, sir. No, sir. Work hard. Mom and dad was on him about just doing
the best in life.
Yeah, Coach. He had success written all over him. You knew that if he wasn't a pro, he was gonna own Starbucks or 22 car dealerships or something. You could see it.
And it still might happen, Coach. It still might happen.
Yeah, success was written all over him. So,
Coach, segue right into the next segment. This is perfect segue. So I've been down at Florida State, had the privilege to watch you guys practice. I've never seen, and I've coached myself and thought I've been a part of some good teams. I've never seen a culture of such love and joy amongst each other. Players, coaches, student managers, grad assistants. Everybody loves everybody. Everybody loves Florida State. Everybody wants to do what's best for the team. It's constant chatter, and everybody thinks that's like a, that's just a saying somebody says. Like, we want to go into practices, we want to be loud, we want people to be talking. But the reality of it is, to get a group of guys to do that on a consistent basis is very difficult. But it's also winning culture, winning basketball. So you just explained a lot about the individual players of Terrence Mann and Devin Vassell. And I hope everybody at home was listening to what you're looking for and why you thought they were pros. But can you please just touch base before we get into this recruiting stuff, which is crazy right now, about the culture of Florida State's program and why you guys have had success? I'm not naive, Coach. You got to have great players. You got to do a great job coaching them. You got to develop them. You got to get them better. You got to put them in position to have success. You got to have a great system. You guys have all that. I'm not naive, Coach. I'm not. I don't want you to think I just fell out of bed. I'm retarded. I understand completely. But what I do want people to understand is the culture of Florida State's program is why you guys are what you are, in my humble opinion. And I want you to just briefly explain that to us.
Jalen Hamilton deserves a ton of credit. He's a visionary. We start day one really selling. And listen, in order for us to be successful, we need everybody. Everybody is important. Every man's job is important. No one man is better than any other man in this program. He does a great job of selling that we want to win national titles here, that we want to shake up the world, that we can't beat the Kentuckys of the world and the Dukes of the world and the Kansas of the world 1 through 5. But we can beat them 1 through 11.
As a group.
That starts day one. Now, what has helped is the system that he put in place. He was one of the first guys in college basketball to truly start moving towards positionless basketball. Put in a system that was very similar to Golden State Warriors and some of the people. So guys that were coming here, even though you average 13 at Florida State, that's like averaging 21 somewhere else.
Easily. It's hard to average 13 at Florida State.
Yeah, you average 13, Coach. That's like averaging 21. But what you don't understand is, Coach, in the history of college basketball, nobody else has done what Dave Leonard Hamilton and the NEWBLOODS have done. We got 2 guys that never started a game that was drafted in the first round of the NBA. Patrick Williams never started a game here. He was drafted 4. Mfiondu Kabengele never started a game here. He was drafted 27. So the system and the way we play, the way you are taught to make decisions in 0.8 seconds or less, be a ball mover, use ball screens, defend multiple positions, get steals, deflections, run the lanes. You're going to play 28 minutes or 27 minutes as opposed to 34 minutes. But in those 27 minutes, you're going to be unbelievably efficient. You know what I mean? Your OER and all your numbers are going to be through the roof. So we're going to win. We're going to win on a national scale. You're going to get, you may start, you may not, but you're going to get starters minutes. Everybody here going to play between 27 minutes and 18 minutes. But we're going to win big. You're going to develop. They're going to see that you understand how to win and play a role, and you're going to be a pro. So now, the guys that come in the program, they see Patrick Williams go 4 and he's the 6th man. They see Mfiondu Kabengele goes 27 and he's the 6th man. They see Dwayne Bacon come here, Malik Beasley come here and accept playing 28 minutes, 27 minutes as opposed to 32, and they getting their name called. I mean, Jonathan Isaac averaged 11, 12. He was the 6th pick in the draft. Patrick Williams averaged 9. Devin Vassell averaged 12. But defensively, we showcased them. Offensively, in terms of their decision-making and use, everybody handles. Everybody makes ball screen reads.
Versatility.
Everybody guards 1 through 5. So we let them know that if you come here, we're going to develop you. Our system is going to prepare you. We're going to play in the ACC, which is the NBA South. We feel like we run the league now. If you just come here and buy into winning and being a high character gym rat, I mean, Darryl, let's just face it, it's gotten to the point where if there's a Florida State guy on the board, NBA guys say, take him. I mean, Trent Forrest right now, he's a G League 2-way player. Coach, he's in the rotation. You see what he's doing?
Playing well. He's a good player. He knows how to play and play with good players.
Terrence Mann went 48. I mean, Terrence Mann came here with Dwayne Bacon and Malik Beasley. They was Michael Jackson. He was Tito Jackson. Coach,
something I think people don't realize is if you get into the NBA, especially early in your career, you're going to play in a limited role. You're going to come off the bench. You're going to play less minutes, but you have to impact the game. You have to be impactful from the time you get on the court. And that's by doing all the little things that you guys teach to do on a daily basis. And again, you're going to do it in a short period of time in college, which assimilates you being able to do it in a short period of time in the NBA. It's no adjustment for them, Coach. It's no adjustment. They just go in and play the way they know how to play.
And these NBA guys come in here and practice, and they go crazy. They watch these guys in our practice, and they see how they're developing and what they're doing. You know, we got another crop going right now. You're going to think I'm a psychic, Coach. Scotty Barnes is going to go between 3 and 8. Everybody laughing right now, but Raquan Gray, he's gonna go between 10 and 30.
Yeah.
MJ Walker is probably gonna go between 40 and 55.
Yeah.
And Boston Kopovisa, we may have 4. Boston Kopovisa
Yeah.
left. I thought he should have come back. He would have been a lottery pick, but he made the decision to leave. You know, we the new bloods. We support our family. He gonna go second round. Worst case scenario, he'll go get stash and draft and stash.
Yeah.
So, and we'll have another crew coming after that because our system develops you where you're going. Because I watched Marcus Howard a couple of years ago, Marquette, averaging 22 a night. Miles Powell from Seton Hall, averaging 24 a night. Jacking it every time they touch it. They didn't even get their name called.
They're not going to play that style when they go to the NBA. So when NBA scouts and general managers and brass come in and watch them play, they can't envision them doing the role that they are bringing them in to do.
They got to go to Istanbul, Coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so to get kids to understand that. Now, listen, Florida State and the NEWBLOODS is not for everybody. You know, some guys want to go somewhere and have the ball in their hands and play 39 minutes a game. I don't know that that's the way, and it works for some people. But I think the percentage of those people is getting less and less.
And you're not going to win, Coach. And if you don't care about winning, then you probably not a new blood type guy anyway.
Right. And listen, I love everybody. I ain't mad at nobody. I ain't trying to fight. Some guys I just don't recruit because they don't fit here. But I will tell you this: anybody that we sign, Coach, if you come in and you have humility. And you buy in to what we do here. I don't get emotional. I read the data. If you just listen, you're going to put on a Gucci suit, a hat, some Ferragamo shoes, and you're going to shake that man's hand. And Coach, you may average 9. You may average 11.
But you're going to win at a high level. You're going to get better, and you're going to showcase your ability to play at the next level.
And you're going to be prepared to stay when you get there. See, that's what we the
second contract is the most important contract.
Coach Jonathan Isaac, he got to the Orlando Magic. He was ready to play. Dwayne Bacon was ready to play. Malik Beasley was ready to play. Terrence Mann ready to play. Devin Vassell, Patrick Williams ready to play.
Coach, we can talk all day. We might have to do a part 2 with you, just so you know. but let's try to finish off. Let's try to stay consistent with what we always want to talk about, because I love to hear you guys' different mindsets on different things. And I also want our viewers to know what college coaches are looking at. You've given us some great nuggets. You have 2 sons that people don't know that are young kids coming up right now in this time when I think this is the most difficult time to get a college scholarship. The most difficult time to get a college scholarship. I'm coaching the 17 on the AAU team, and the conversations that we have, I mean, I'm scared to death for these guys, man. I'm scared to death for them. So I want you to talk about the transfer portal, and please also touch base on everybody getting a red shirt year as well as the one-time transfer where you can play right away. Please touch on all 3 of those, your thoughts, and also try to give – I know it's hard because you're a coach, so I know you got to be politically correct. But if you can, just give us your perspective as a parent too, because the parents need to hear what you're thinking.
And I'm a parent, so I'm more. I'm more sympathetic. I've become a better coach because I have 2 daughters. I have a daughter that plays in North Carolina.
You got the girls in college. I forgot about them. Right. They missed this bad time that we're in right now. I guess
it's going to affect my baby daughter.
No question.
Right, I just had a conversation with her. I said, hey, listen, Daddy done saved up some money for you to go to IMG in case we don't get what we thought we were going to get initially, to give you another year to develop and let this thing blow over. But, you know, my initial thought, Darryl, is this. A lot of high major players that would have gone high major on a normal year because of the transfer portal probably going to have to go mid. And the mids are probably going to have to go low.
So what happens to all those low majors?
The lows may have to go D2 just because college coaches are so enamored by the transfer portal. And I can't say I blame them, because the new transfer rule makes it where people can transfer anytime they want. So they feel like it doesn't make sense to recruit a high school kid because he's going to transfer anyway. I might as well get an older, more experienced kid out of the transfer portal.
And he can't keep transferring around. I got him now.
That's right. So that affects the high school kids that are coming behind them. So it's definitely gonna have an effect on these next two classes. I'm feeling it in my own household with my daughter, Adia Young. My oldest daughter signed with Michigan, and listen, she signed with Michigan, and she transferred to North Carolina.
It happens.
And I listen. I'm old school. I told her, listen, little mama, your last name Young. You got to stay up there and tough it out. But the entire staff left. They all got head jobs.
Okay.
The head coach was still there, but all three assistants all left. Well, one of them came to Florida State as an assistant. One went to Miami of Ohio and one with Xavier. So she felt like the people that she had built a relationship the last 3 years.
I don't have anybody fighting for me. I don't have the relationships, because what people don't understand is the head coach is the guy who kind of closes it, and he's going to have a relationship with you. Don't get me wrong. Like, a good head coach is going to be a relationship with his players. But the assistant coaches are there on a day-to-day basis in the grind, heat of the battle with you, life lessons, individual instruction, 8 in the morning, making sure you're in weights, checking your classes. So you have a different kind of relationship with your assistant coaches. That's just a reality.
And that's just the reality of it. And so I told her, I said, look, mama, you only average 2 points a game your freshman year now. You might be about to bust Edward Waters wide open. You know what I mean? Yeah. But she said, I'm going to bet on myself, Daddy. She put herself in the transfer portal. Man, I thought I had LeBron James living in my house. I said, God, I couldn't believe it. Coach, I'm talking about you name it, Power 5, ACC, SEC. My point to you is people are really leaning towards recruiting out of the transfer portal to get experience. And we wound up going to North Carolina. It's been a blessing. It's been a great move. So I think parents with kids now are going to have to be a little bit more patient.
Patient. Oof, tough word for them, but I agree with you.
May have to look at prep school. May have to look at going somewhere in redshirting. And even if a high school, even if which I think is a good thing for young men. I would love for my 2 sons, and they're gonna be late bloomers. They play for one family in Florida and Adidas, but I would love for mine to do 1 year hard grade military. You know what I mean? So they can get some discipline, some Fort Union, somewhere.
Just be more mature, physically and mentally.
Mature, and get that horn blowing in the morning. Have to clean up 5 a.m. and get get some discipline, and then go somewhere in red shirt. I think a lot of the only thing that bothers me about the transfer rules is I think the year of kids sitting out really changes their life.
I agree.
It gives them a chance to really grow, to watch, to improve their body, to learn from the side. I just think that we're missing. I mean, Baylor, everybody thought. I was on a call the other day with Tang from Baylor. I was on a Zoom call, and he said that they won a national title because they took transfers. But all the transfers that they took
sit out
a year.
Learn to prepare, learn their system, got more mature, got physically stronger. They were more ready to play than when they transferred in.
And Coach, listen, it's a big difference from high school basketball to Division I college basketball. And I think that's what parents and high school and AAU coaches, they kind of have a lack of respect for. You coming out of high school basketball to this level, I see these kids every year, and it's like the old record player. You know what I mean? You know how your mom and your dad used to play records on the old record player? And sometimes you put it on 45 and the record player goes, simmalama, 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 simmalama. Ooh, that was it. You know what I mean? Go real fast. But when these high school guys come to college, the record is on 45. So everybody back home is asking, why you ain't scoring like you was in high school? Why you ain't shooting like you was in high school? Record player on 45, go. So
and the game hadn't slowed down. They can't make those decisions. They're not processing the information quick enough.
And they bigger, longer. Everything is being contested. I see them boys in practice when they come. I don't care if they McDonald's or Burger King All-American, whatever one they are. I see their eyes in practice. They be like this, Coach.
What is going on? What I got myself into?
What? And Coach, then you telling them, karaoke spread to the lane line, get to the midline. Who got banded? Who got banded? 54 on, boys.
And you tell them to talk, communicate, because they don't even know what to say.
Coach, it takes time to develop, coach. So now it goes from 45, about the middle of the sophomore year, it goes to regular speed. And then at the end of their sophomore year, their junior year, because now it becomes what the young Thundercats call chopped and screwed. They get down on the floor. You know what I'm saying? The player get down on the floor. That's when they start playing well. Now some of them are so good when they come in the door that it's chopped and screwed. That's very rare, coach.
Those are the ones that you know are going to be special.
95% of them, they got to go through that record player code, 45, regular speed, 33.
Yeah.
And everybody want to make progress before they go through the process.
Yeah.
See, we live in a microwave generation. Everybody
I was just about to say microwave generation. They want to heat it up and ready to go right now.
Yeah, that microwave.
Sometimes you got to put it in the oven. Put it on 350.
Yes, best meal.
Let it preheat.
Yeah. You know, my grandma and you say, get out of here.
Yeah.
Ain't ready yet. Get out the kitchen.
I need time.
We're going to eat at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, in this society, they don't quite understand that. So it's hard to get parents and AAU coaches. Let me tell you something. This is something we need to discuss.
Okay.
A lot of the big time prospects don't make it because of the people that's around them.
No question. I think majority of them.
Coach, the people that are around them are the key to their success.
Because they're kids. They don't know what to believe. They don't know what they don't know.
So if the people around them have a good feel and they are realistic and they take coaching and they understand
objective
and they trust and they not emotional, then the kid can make it. But there's certain people around, he's supposed to be one and done. Huh? He gonna be on the back of a milk carton and y'all keep doing what y'all doing. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
And that's a tough thing. So sometimes I won't recruit a kid because of I don't feel I can manage the people around.
So this is the second coaches edition. I want you to know that. Yasir Rosemont over at Indiana now was the first coaches edition. Me and you have never had this conversation before. Me and Yasir never had that conversation before. Both of you guys chose to make it your own personal point to say that you recruit the entire family when you bring a young man in your program. And sometimes you will avoid that young man because of the way his family acts, their thought process, their ideology, and you know that it can become a cancer in your program. So parents at home, this is multiple coaches. I didn't say anything to them. We've never had this conversation before. This is what college coaches are thinking. So you're losing your kids opportunities to play at elite programs because of how you're behaving yourself, what you're putting on social media, the way you're treating the high school coach, the way you're treating the AAU coach, the way you're sitting in the stands, all that's being evaluated. He told you a whole bunch about how he's evaluating players. Let me tell you, I know CY very well. He's looking at your family in the stands as well when he comes to the game and seeing how you're interacting with everybody else's family because he doesn't want to bring that cancer into his program.
Well, sometimes the family loses humility. You know what I mean? When they have a son or something that's a big time family, you gotta, I tell people this all the time. The first thing we do when we sign these big time players that we get is I sit them right here in this chair and I say, listen now, you are not Martin Luther King. You are not Nelson Mandela. You did not make the cure for cancer. All you do is play basketball. That's all you do. I signed 2-3 silverback gorillas a year. If sometimes I go to different cities, see why we're gonna send him somewhere else. Okay, I'm trying to bless you. I'll just go to Charlotte and get Patrick Williams. You don't want to send me this boy in Florida. I'm trying to help y'all. I'll just go to Atlanta and get Malik Beasley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I go down to Miami, tried to get a big one time. Broke my heart. The boy went somewhere else. We just went to Canada and got Mafandu Kamageli.
Yeah.
I mean, and I want I'm not selfish. I want everybody hopes and dreams to come true. Again, if they don't want to come to Florida State, I got a lot of people in different cities that I got long time relationships with, and they don't send me their son, or they don't like Florida State, or they don't like how we do things. I tell them quick, I love you. I ain't mad at you. I ain't trying to fight. I understand. I want to see y'all make it. If I can help you, let me know. I will do anything I can to help you, because I want to see all these kids make it. I want to see all their hopes and dreams come true. I'm not selfish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I think sometimes you end up getting who you're supposed to get, though, CY. Sometimes you end up winning when you miss on a kid. Because y'all done a great job bringing in the type of kids that mesh and blend that Florida State culture that we spoke about earlier in this thing. And sometimes the different people can come in and mess that culture up. And I think to me, I'm telling you, I know it's all the other things. I'm not taking away nothing from your coaching. I'm not taking away nothing from the talent. But I've seen that culture when I walked in that gym at practice, and it completely blew me away. It blew me away. I knew from the time I walked in and watched that practice that this team has a chance to win the national championship. They're going to be Elite 8, Sweet 16, Final Four, worst case scenario, because I know what a good team looks like. And I know when I see guys that love each other and they're going to play for each other and how far that can take you. And that's what you guys got going on at Florida State.
Jalen Hamilton deserves 10 times more credit than he gets for being a big-time head coach and CEO. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up Dr. Joe Carr, who's our team psychologist, who Jalen Hamilton brought in, who we've been working on this culture for about 6 or 7 years. We brought in a team psychologist because a lot of these kids are dealing with so much pressure from their parents, from their AAU coaches, that they need help.
Yeah.
They need help. And so we try to help them, heart, mind, body, and soul, to prepare them for the National Basketball Association, obviously, but more importantly for us, life after basketball.
Yeah.
Because I tell people this all the time. I tell these young kids this, man, the end of the movie ain't always pretty now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They say, oh, Coach CY, you don't know, but I done seen 100 of you, Chief.
Yeah.
I know what you're going to do before you do it. And I'm trying to, end of the movie ain't pretty now. This behavior you showing right now. I've
seen this behavior before, and I know what the end result of that behavior is.
Man, coaching. So a lot of times, when I was the head coach at Georgia Southern, I was coaching kids, and I had so much pressure on myself, because when I was coaching them, I didn't even see basketball. I didn't want them at Circle K selling slushies. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want them in the back room at 39 living with their grandma. That's what I was trying to. Now, my heart was in the right place, but I didn't do a good job of controlling my emotional intelligence. But I wanted to save them. You know what I mean? I wanted them to. I had been in that locker room with guys that didn't respect authority, that wasn't disciplined, that didn't go to class, that wasn't serious about their craft. And now that we were 47, 48, 49,
catches up to you.
I see what these guys doing in their life. You know what I mean? So the kids that I coach, I tell them every day, I see them in the hall and I stop them. I say, hey, Chief, where you want to be in 10 years? Because I want them thinking about that. And they don't understand how fast it goes.
Yeah.
Think about how fast life and time goes. I've been coaching 26 years. Seemed like yesterday you was a baby. I met you at Georgia Tech in the office. That's 2008? 7?
No, 2005 or 2006, one or the other. 2005 or 2006. Crazy, right?
Coach, went by like that. Think about them boys we had at Georgia Tech. Real silverbacks now. Thaddeus Young, Javaris Critton, and Derek Favors, Anthony Morrow, Mario West. Them boys grown men now, Coach.
No question about it.
Them boys grown men. I see these boys on Instagram with their wife and babies.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, Coach.
Yeah, some of them coaching now. I mean, the ones that didn't make it, like whatever they're doing, they're a pro at something in life. Hopefully, some of them struggling, some of them doing well. And again, these tendencies, these things we're talking about, you kind of could see the pathway that they were going on, and all you can do is give them information. As the older people say, which I'm one of the older people now, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. So basically, you can give them the information, you can give them the plan, but if they don't follow it, what are you gonna do?
You can't save them all, Cole, but you got to try. And there's nothing sadder than wasted talent, Cole.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, nothing sadder. That's, you know, I try to coach these kids with all my heart and soul and teach them everything I did to make me successful.
Yeah.
Also teach them all the things that I didn't do that I wish I would have done. I put both components in them, and then they take off.
So they can learn from your mistakes, hopefully.
Yeah. I'm proud. You know, if I had to choose core values for the New Bloods in Florida State basketball, I would say it's respect, responsibility, humility, and love.
I love it.
I would say those were our core values, and I don't think we've ever put them on paper. But man, Jalen Hamilton, he can't lose because he loved these kids so much, and he loves every member of this program. Coach Jalen Hamilton is getting the green team members. He getting these boys jobs at major corporations and coaching jobs, and he's proud of that.
Yeah,
you know, he coaches the last guy on the roster just like he's Scotty Barnes or Jonathan Isaac.
And they see that, coach, and that makes a difference. The kids are smarter than people think they are. They pay attention to all of that. Pay attention to all that. Coach, we can't keep going. We got to stop, Coach. We got time. Hey, this is an unbelievable episode 1 for CY, because we will have an episode 2. I'm gonna tell my people to talk to your people. We got to have an episode 2 because I don't even think we scratched the surface of the stuff we can talk about and the knowledge we can drop. But I want to humbly, tell you I really appreciate you coming on. Unbelievable show, like I anticipated and expected. Thank you for being sincere, being transparent, just trying to give as much knowledge, trying to help as many people as possible. You've always been, the same way to me, and I really appreciate it. And, I know you've done it for a bunch of other young men. Thank you so much, man.
Man, I appreciate it. I'll come on anytime, man. Don't worry about it. Listen, we could be co-hosts, man. I can be Wesley Snipes. You could be Al B. Shore, man. You know what I mean?
Why I always got to be Al B. Shore, man? Stop doing that, man. Stop doing that. Hey, appreciate you, man. Glad
all right, man.
Out, man.
All right, G.